A surprise Democrat performance in the U.S. midterms hurts world market even as inflation concerns loom. Auto and consumer durables bear the brunt, while healthcare and energy exhibit resilience today.
Tata Motors deflates on a big miss in earnings and cash flows. Higher debt and a cut in guidance by JLR add to the woes even as the company eyes some recovery in the second half.
Lupin leaps on beating street expectations on margins, but Piramal Enterprises and Deepak Nitrite slide after results disappoint. A bunch of other mid-caps like Team Lee's Quest Corp and Prince Pipes also see big swings on earnings reaction.
And cryptos take a battering on fears that FTX could file for bankruptcy after a proposed deal with Binance falls through. Probes by US regulators into FTX's activities only add to the concerns.
Hello and welcome. You've tuned into Business Lunch. I'm Nisha Podar, and with me as always is my co-anchor Pavitra Parekh. So Pavitra, a dull day of trade today. In fact, if you really take a look at Nifty 50, not just has it given up comfortably on that 18,000 psychological level, but it is also at the low point of the day, about 1% cut on Nifty 50. As far as Sensex is concerned, well, it's 600 points in the trading session at the moment, and Bank Nifty is also in line with the key indices. In fact, the financials, remember, Bank Nifty hit a record level yesterday, and today it is showing a cut of 1%. Axis Bank, SBI, and some of the others are really taking it down. When it comes to the mid-cap and the broader universe, there's no relief there. In fact, that is the one pocket which is underperforming the overall key indices as well, almost 1.4% down in trade at the moment. So advanced decline ratio is not a surprise. It's on the weaker side, with broader markets also underperforming the key indices. Some of the auto names like Tata Motors, M&M are some of the key draggers in trade today, but other big boys and heavyweights like Reliance Industries also having a very pressured session in trade. So all around, there is some pressure today as we speak on the trade. Pavitra.
Oh, absolutely. There's some pressure. But Nisha, how come you haven't mentioned the match? It's just starting. So,
don't take away my ending lines, because by then the toss would have happened.
It's happened. They're telling me in my ear, it's happened. England won the toss. India is going to be batting first.
All right. So good luck to Men in Blue.
We should just finish the show and run up, right?
Yes, that's the agenda for Pavitra and myself today.
So that is happening on the cricket front and very exciting. So we're going to be tuning into that match as well. For the markets, you know, we're 100 points down even from the opening levels, right? So that is, we have seen some weakness definitely creep in. What is perhaps, you can take some light from is that this is still better than what we saw in a lot of the global markets. So the US markets were down between 2–2.5%. In that context, our markets are holding up better. It is the auto space which is taking a bulk of the beating today. So some of those stocks will be up on your screen. The PSU banks also for today, they're not faring well. But of course, nothing to take away from the fact that we've seen a sharp rally in this. The big CPI data will be out this evening, so do watch out for that. That is going to be important to track. The crude prices and, of course, all of the action that is playing out in the crypto markets. But let's start off the show with some key earnings. Tata Motors, the top loser on the Nifty. This after reporting a weak set of second quarter numbers. Sonia is here with more details. Sonia.
Well, to start off with, I have Motilal Oswal, which has said that JLR's numbers are an all-round miss and they've cut their EPS estimates for FY23 to a loss from a profit earlier on. They still have a buy on the stock, though, with a target price of 500 rupees. Followed by which there's HDFC Securities that has maintained a reduce with a target price of 415 rupees. Now, the main concern, according to them, is the rise that we've seen in Tata Motors' debt. The debt has risen to almost 60,000 crores, and that is a big concern. And it will be challenging for the management now to meet their net debt-free target by FY24. Let's move on to Phillip Capital. That is a bit more optimistic. They say that all of these global risks are transient in nature and the stock offers a great risk-reward perspective at current levels. They maintain a buy with a target price of 530. JP Morgan has a neutral on the stock with the target price cut to 410 from 450 earlier. They've also cut the FY22 to 25 EBITDA by 3 to 9%. They say the Indian India business has disappointed in this quarter, and the management has cut the guidance for volumes and free cash flow for the second half of the year. CLSA has outperformed. They've raised their target price to 491 rupees. JLR performs better than the India business in the second quarter, they say. So all round, if you'd have to see, it's a bit of a mixed bag. Most brokerages are disappointed with the fact that the JLR business is on the weaker side, but also the fact that debt has been rising and the company has cut their guidance. Back to you.
All right. Thanks so much, Sonia, for getting us all those details. No let up in sight for this big boy from the auto sector, Tata Motors. And remember, debt will be a bad word in an interest rate hardening scenario. So the market is punishing on earnings as well as a debt front as well. Now, Lupin, that posted an inline set of Q2 earnings, and the pharma major saw recovery in the margin and the US sales for the company. Earlier, we caught up with the top management of the company and discussed their quarter gone by. Listen into what they had to say about the future trajectory as well as the performance going forward.
Q1 results were impacted by some stock corrections that we took. And that being done, you would expect some normalcy to creep in insofar as sales are concerned in America. That was undoing insofar as the first quarter is concerned. Going forward, we think things should only pick up. We have a tight leash on costs, as is evident from the numbers itself. When it comes to, in fact, the SG&A spends, or for that matter, the workforce planning as it reflects in our manpower costs and the like, and the newer products, as and when it is brought into the market, that would also impact the overall results. So things are looking better. We had guided for the second quarter being better than the first quarter, the third quarter being better than the second quarter, and so on. So successive quarters would certainly look much better.
Business bounced back on, due to also the correction that we had taken in Q1. So there was that impact, but strong growth across both the baseline business as well as the respiratory franchise, in particular albuterol. So albuterol, we continued to grow our volumes. Combination of both albuterol as well as the baseline products helped grow the business. We also had a couple of new product launches. We had Suprep out of Somerset and a couple of other smaller products with the Goa clearance earlier this year.
All right, that was the management of Lupin. It was an inline showing this quarter, but they do expect things to pick up going forward. With that, another interesting story. The government of India, under the specified undertaking of the Unit Trust of India, is slated to divest all of its 1.55% stake in Axis Bank. So Abhishek joins us with more details on this one. Abhishek?
Government via SUTI will sell about 4.65 crore shares in Axis Bank. This forms about 1.55% of the stake in Axis Bank. So floor price has been set at 830.63 per share, which is a discount of 5% to yesterday's closing price. So it is a clean out trade given the fact that, SUTI holds about 1.55% in Axis Bank. Just to alert our viewers, on November 1st, Bain Capital had sold about 1.24% stake, and they have a residual stake of 3%. However, they are in a lock-in period of 90 days before they can further pare down their stake. So share price of Axis Bank, as of yesterday was almost at an all-time high. So this news comes on the back of the fact that, price or stock price of Axis Bank is near all-time high. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Abhishek. And that stock is under pressure because of the supply of paper and the sale of stake. But remember, the stock has given umpteen returns for the investors to really cash out at this particular juncture. Moving on then, cryptocurrencies, they crash for a second straight day, and Bitcoin hits the levels not seen since November 2020 as popular crypto exchange FTX collapses. That's a big news from the cryptocurrency market, and Manisha Gupta is here to tell us all about this important development. Manisha.
For last 3 days, we've seen a constant decline come into these markets. The global market capital is now below $1 trillion. Bitcoin is trading at a 2-year lows. And Solana clearly has been the most hit cryptocurrency, down by 45% in last 24 hours itself. The cryptocurrencies have been declining, but all hell broke loose after Binance FTX deal got scrapped. FTX issues are beyond our control or ability to help is the statement that Binance gave out. And it also said that financial documents and illiquid balance sheets is what really led to it. it. It clearly has been a lot of drama on Twitter in last 48 hours that we have seen here. It has been about mishandled consumer funds, alleged US agency investigations there. Apart from that, FTX also provided derivative products without approvals from any of the regulatory. It clearly is a time that regulations, compliance, audits perhaps were made compulsory into this area. It's something that we haven't seen at all. This is a report card of what the cryptocurrencies have done on a week-on-week basis. This is most important because the last 3 or 4 sessions have seen a very sharp decline. 25% of a decline is what we've seen in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Cardano is down, Dogecoin down by 42% in last 1 week. And the major declines, as I have been saying, coming in for Solana. And for the year as well, 91% of the value of Solana has been wiped off. This is exactly what the cryptocurrencies have done in this year until now. So it has been about FTT, which is down by nearly 98%. That is the native currency of FTX. And the other has been Solana, which has seen a huge sell-off. The reason being that the FTX sister concern Alameda balance sheet holds Solana in a very big way. Whether it is about unlocked Solana, locked Solana, collateral Solana, there's a huge number that the balance sheet holds there, and is the reason that you have seen a sell-off coming in from other investors as well. Not just this exchange, but the decentralized exchange DYDX also has placed Solana in close-only mode, meaning you can't take new positions. If you are also already holding a position in Solana, then you can wind that off. Crypto.com, which is a centralized exchange, also has halted Solana-based stablecoin deposits. We have seen this come in from other exchanges also. OKX also has delisted Solana. It says that they will stop listing new options when it comes to Solana as well. So this is one cryptocurrency which was doing immensely well in last month or so, but has seen a very sharp decline in last 3 or 4 trading sessions. Well, this is what the Sam Bankman, which actually was seen quite highly of, has said. He said it out a couple of days back on Twitter, saying that they need $8 billion to continue to operate or would file for bankruptcy. But clearly the help did not come, and we have seen a very sharp sell-off coming in for the FTX and FTT, which is the native token as well. The US Department of Justice is looking into FTX after its apparent collapse, is what we understand in the latest news there. Apart from that, Binance has been the top exchange in the world when it comes to volumes. FTX was seen as a safe crypto company. When you look at Sam Bankman-Fried, he was seen as the white knight of cryptocurrencies, and the markets now believe that if FTX can go down like that, then the other exchanges clearly are very, very vulnerable there. Markets were consolidating in the month of October, but after what we have seen is clearly disastrous, and the street believes that the next 3 or 6 months can see further decline coming in for cryptocurrencies unless there is a regulation that is brought in.
All right, that is all of the action playing out in the cryptocurrency markets. Manisha, thanks a lot for that. But with that, let's also address some earnings that just came through a few minutes ago. Gujarat Gas posted its earnings. The stock has really picked up since then. So Sonal is here to bring us the fine print. Sonal?
Thanks a lot for that. But it's largely a mixed set that Gujarat Gas has reported. What they have been able to gain in terms of margins, they have lost in terms of volume. So clearly, they did take a lot of steps when it came to price hikes. They also went ahead and put out some layered levels in terms of volumes that they had to sell, and that is something that is shown in their margins this time around. So net profit higher than estimates, or largely in line with estimates, but the real beat has definitely come in on their margins. Margins this time around came in at 16.2%. We were working with a margin number of 14.2%. It is a 500 basis points increase in terms of margins for the company on a quarter-on-quarter basis as well. Top line slightly lower than estimates, and that is led by the volume miss that the company has reported. So volumes came in at 7.62 MMSCMD versus an estimate of 8.3 MMSCMD. So that's the reason why top line has looked lower than estimates as well. However, the company has been able to push price hikes, and that is something which is showing in margins as well. They have undertaken cost controls as well. So clearly a big beat as far as their margins are concerned, because of which EBITDA per SCM is also much higher than what the street was working with. Additionally, the company has signed an MOU with Tata Power to install EV charging station at company's CNG stations. So that is an additional revenue stream that the company is looking at. Q2 was of course impacted by the shutdown in the Morbi unit, which has of course opened up again, and that will increase or lead to an increment volume incoming in Q3 as well. So all in all, mixed set of numbers. The stock, still the most expensive in the CGD space, right now is up around 1%.
Right, so stock of Gujarat Gas on the back of those results up 1%. Thanks, Sonal, for all those details. But take a look at the year-to-date chart. It has hugely underperformed the market. 20% down on a year-to-date basis, so keep that on the radar. But Gujarat Gas, some important developments there in terms of the Tata Power, JV also coming in with the EV charging machines at their CNG facilities. With that, we'll slip into a short breather on Business Lunch, but we'll tell you more about the market update as well as news of the day right after this short break.
Hi guys, welcome back. You're still tuned into Business Lunch. Now, an important story and an exclusive. We learned from sources that the government has shown concerns over the private sector investment cycle not taking off. So Parikshit is here with the details. Parikshit, good afternoon. What are you picking up?
Well, this is something that the government has been concerned about, and all ministries have been asked by the government to hold consultations with the industry, find out why the investment cycle is not really kicking off, why more capacity is not being set up. The government is particularly concerned about a few sectors, and they have particularly sought responses from the steel sector, white goods, solar PV modules, cement, auto component sector as well. They are being asked as to what more can be done in terms of ease of doing business. The ministries have been asked to also draw up a list of ideas, list of measures that can be taken up in order to make it easier to do business. There are certain tax breaks which are being considered for certain sectors which may help drive up demand and also private investment. The reason why the government is concerned is because there are employment issues which have to be looked at over the next few years as well. The PLI schemes, we asked our sources about the performance of the PLI schemes, some schemes not really taking off. The government believes it's still really early days, but at the moment, the big focus of the government, even ahead of the budget, is to brainstorm with the industry and understand why private investment cycle is not really taking off. One feedback that the government is receiving from the industry is that there is a global slowdown and they don't see a long-term demand when it comes to the Indian market. So this is what the government is trying to understand, why the industries are not willing to tap the demand that is coming in from India. What are the problems that they are seeing on the supply side, on demand side? What more can be done to drive up this investment cycle?
All right, Parikshit, thank you so much for all those important details. But a quick look at Nifty 50. It has reconquered that 18,000 psychological level, and Bank Nifty is the one which has helped it in doing that. Some bit of buying seen at the lower levels. All right, moving forward then, the Enforcement Directorate, as part of the probe into the Delhi excise policy case, has arrested Aurobindo Pharma's whole-time director Sharath Reddy and also Pernod Ricard's Binoy Babu under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. In fact, our colleague Abhimanyu is tracking the development closely and joins us with all the details. Abhimanyu.
The Enforcement Directorate has arrested Aurobindo Pharma's Sharath Reddy and Pernod Ricard's Binoy Babu in the Delhi excise policy case. Both the arrested accused are currently being questioned in custody and are likely to be produced today afternoon before the Rouse Avenue court in Delhi. It remains to be seen for how many days ED is going to seek custody of the arrested duo. It's not the first time an arrest has been made in this case. Raids had been conducted earlier at the premises of both the accused. Also in September, the Enforcement Directorate had arrested Samir Mahindru, who's the MD of a liquor manufacturing company, Indo Spirit, who had been arrested in this case. The money laundering case, which has been filed by the Enforcement Directorate, is based on the CBI FIR, which had also named Delhi's Deputy CM Manish Sisodia as an accused among others. CBI had earlier raided the premises of the Deputy Chief Minister and various government officials in this regard. The Delhi's Lieutenant Governor had already suspended several officials from the government over alleged irregularities in the case, which is currently being investigated both by the CBI as well as the Enforcement Directorate.
All right, Abhimanyu, thanks a lot for getting us all of the details on that story. But with that, it's time for another short break on the show. You don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we're going to tell you all about the match which is underway. England has won the toss. India is batting first, and both teams will get ready to face off in just a few minutes for a spot in the final against Pakistan. Stay tuned for more details.
Welcome back. You're watching Business Lunch, and to the news that we all are really waiting and watching out for. In just a matter of minutes, Team India will take the field to play semi-finals against England to win the right to play against arch rivals Pakistan in the finals of the ongoing T20 World Cup. Now, England have won the toss and have also Rohit Sharma and company in to bat first at the Adelaide Oval today, which due to the immense support for the Indian team has been almost like a home stadium, remember, for the men in blue. In fact, CNN News 18's Shivani Gupta is right outside the Oval, taking in the atmosphere over there. Shivani, what is the mood like, and lucky you?
So we are from the UK, we are supporting India and England.
All right, really? No, the crowds, that's what will get Virat and what is it? Going.
Yeah! Very partisan crowd.
You guys are from UK, right? From England?
From the UK, yeah.
Yeah, so I've seen fans.
Kenya.
You're from Kenya?
Yeah.
So you're obviously supporting India.
India!
No double thoughts about India
No
or
double
England?
thoughts, no double thoughts.
Yeah. And who are you putting your money on? Who's your favorite player?
Kohli.
Right. So, I saw a lot of fans from US, UK, Singapore. I was talking to them earlier. And all of them, there's a fan following, including the Bharat Army that was behind me. I mean, the Bharat Army obviously travels with the Indian team everywhere, gives them support and vociferous support, rivals the Barmy Army. And that whole structure of Indian fanship has changed quite a bit. And the Indian crowd is always the louder and the prouder crowd. So they kind of take over any venue, and that's exactly what's happening. I just want my camera person Guneet to again show you. Those are the the counters from where the entry is going to take place. A lot of people are already getting in, and still there are a lot of people who are on the ground just enjoying the atmosphere. That also is a big deal because as you said, this is a semi-final stage, and enjoying the semi-final stage on a day like this is also one of the big things that the fans look forward to. It's a party, everybody's a friend here, and everybody is here to enjoy not just the match, but also obviously the atmosphere as well.
Nisha, just look at that energy outside the stadium. I mean, I wish we could be there, but this is going to be one cracker of a match.
Pavitra, our newsroom will also have the same energy, and let me assure you, it will be an electric atmosphere at work here as well. And all the best to men in blue. And also, the dream finals with Pakistan on Sunday is what all of us are rooted for. With that, it's a wrap on Business Lunch. Thanks so much.